Hello boxing fans, today I'm going to talk about the post-fight Ricky Burns versus Michael Katsidis. Beforehand, no one gave Ricky a chance. They all saying he's going to get knocked out by the 6th, by the 1st. He's going to get knocked out, clearly. First thing I'm going to say is, I'm going to stress to you there was no chance of a robbery in this fight. The real winner won the fight. So Ricky Burns came out in the first round and we all expected Michael Katsidis to be the one pressing the fight, coming at him and landing the bigger shots and basically winning the first 3 to 4 rounds. However, we were dead wrong when it was actually Ricky Burns who was on the front foot. He was landing the jab. He was holding the centre of the ring, and Michael Katsidis was circling around the edges, and he was landing his punches and he was landing the better shots. But what he did later on was he started to add in the body shots and the uppercuts, and these were the more eye-catching punches that the judges would see. It was a bigger variation of punches than just the same punches that Michael Katsidis was throwing. I gave Ricky Burns the first 3 out of 4 rounds. However, in hindsight, I could have gave Ricky Burns all 4, but I was being generous and gave Katsidis 1 round, and I think that was in either the 3rd or the 4th. In the middle rounds, with Katsidis' face looking awful, he started to come back into the fight. He was landing a few more shots. And at this point, Enzo Macronelli started to give points. He gave 2 points to Michael Katsidis, but I didn't understand that because I actually still thought that Ricky Burns was landing the better shots. In fact, I think he did better in rounds, I think it was 5 and 6 than he did in 3 and 4. So I gave those rounds to Ricky Burns, but then I gave I think 7 and 8 and possibly 9 to Michael Katsidis. Later on, Ricky Burns came back into it as well. He got his second wind and stamped his dominance on the fight, and he started landing the better shots. He started to box again, and he was happy in the end rounds to stand with Michael Katsidis, which showed him that Ricky Burns can take a punch. He really can. And at the end of the fight, they both put their arms up, but we all knew who the winner was, and even Michael Katsidis knew who the winner was. He didn't make any groans when he heard the result. He's never been robbed in the UK before. He's got a good record. He was the Brit Basher. There's no robbery involved. It was a good fight. I think it's pretty much the last hurrah for Michael Katsidis, but I think it's a good little shout for Ricky Burns. He looks good at the lightweight division. He's got the speed. He's got the boxing ability. I'd say he's not got the power, but Ricky Burns has never had the power. But he's got the right style to look good in front of the judges, and I think that'll make him go far. I see if Juan Ramel Marquez relinquishes his titles after the Pacquiao fight, I see Ricky Burns winning a title. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the shout-outs. And there's going to be a short list because only 3 people got this one right. That's not including me, of course, who definitely got it right. So first, I want to shout out to Marquinho210. Good prediction, lad. Second one to P-Dog, an American viewer who likes the British boxing. Nice one there. And also Joe KO Boxing. He predicted this one correctly, and good lad, good prediction. Okay, moving on now to George Groves versus Paul Smith. This was supposed to be a match that would take George Groves into later rounds, test him over a long period of time. Said it didn't really happen like that. Just unfortunate because Paul Smith took a right hand, and unfortunately it put him straight down. It just showed the power of George Groves. One thing I did notice about George Groves in this fight was he's quite defensively sound until the end of the first round when he took 2 punches, and afterwards he was really annoyed because his defence was a bit leaky. So it spurred him on in the second round where he went out, re-established the jab, which was brilliant. His jab, he's got one hell of a great jab. I'd say a world-class jab. And then he switched it between jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body. Jabbed to the body a few times, ended up jabbing to the head, which blinded Paul Smith, and then unleashed the right hook. The right hook landed smack on the button, and it puts Paul Smith down, and it's a testament to Paul Smith that he got up from that one, and he looked wobbled on that fight. If the referee stopped it there, no complaints. Really, no complaints. He let him go on, which I think, I don't know, he could have, yeah. And then he landed one more shot, and Paul Smith went down again. Paul Smith got back up, but then he started to stumble around, and when they stumble, it's unanimous. You've got to stop the fight at that point. So he stopped the fight. And of course, the shout outs to this fight, there was only 2 people who got this one right, and that was Marquinho210 again. He's quite good at this. And Big Back Basher So thanks guys for commenting your predictions in the comment section. Every correct one gets a shout out in future. So keep going. I've not yet got ready for the Butte one. I'm going to watch the Butte fight tonight because I fell asleep before it came on, and then I'll do the shout out for that one.